So up first for the build, we got the Cestus. And you can actually pick this up relatively quickly. You can grab this right after Margot, right before going into Stormvale Castle. You can buy this from Gatekeeper Gostic. Pretty cheap too. You're also going to want to put heavy on it. We want to pump that strength up because, you know, Saitama is just pure raw strength, right? For the Ash of War, you're going to want that Royal Knight's Resolve. This is going to give you an 80% damage increase on your next hit. If you actually get to Volcano Manor, you can run through the area. And with this little speedrun path, you can attain the Royal Knight's Resolve fairly quickly. Now I know some people are going to argue it's like, Saitama doesn't use incantations, but who cares? We're trying to bump up that attack power. He needs to do big powerful hits, and that's how we attain it. Who cares how we get it? That's all set up. It's him putting on his pants in the morning. So pick up that finger seal because we're going to need it for the incants. Don't even have to power it up. Doesn't matter. For the clothes, you're actually going to want to probably start out as a prophet. Or if you can pick them up, that's good. And you're going to want to alter them. Get rid of that shackle that's around your neck. That's going to look the most like Saitama's actual jumpsuit. For the gloves, you want that Omen Killer gloves. And for the boots, those are the closest ones to his actual gloves and boots. They're rad. Pretty much what I got. It's what we got. It's all you can do. It's the little Saitama here. Onto the talismans, you're going to want that America Sword Seal. That's going to greatly raise your attributes, just giving you 20 points and a whole bunch of stats. Who can knock it? It gives you mind, intelligence, faith, arcane, and it's giving you enough faith to be able to use those incantations well, along with the Great Rune. The next talisman is the Radagon Sword Seal. That's going to greatly raise your attributes with another 20 points. That's going to give you 5 points into Vigor, Endurance, Strength, and Dexterity. Very, very beneficial stats. Now you definitely want that Blue Dancer Charm. It's going to raise your attack power with a lower equip load. We're going to have a very low equip load anyways, so we're going to have a pretty decent attack power increase with it. You can pick up the Blue Dancer Charm here. For the last one, a Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman is greatly beneficial. This is going to enormously boost your physical damage negation. That's going to greatly negate the negative effects of the Radagon Sword Seal and the America Sword Seal. Now, if you don't mind taking a bit more damage, you can replace that with a Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. But you know what, I advise not doing that because we're going for a one punch. Onto the Flask of Wondrous Physick. A Stone Barb Cracked Tear is pretty good. It's going to make attacks more likely to break enemy stances. We're basically just trying to do a one punch anyways. So you're using that Royal Knight's Resolve and you're just boop. And you're hopefully doing enough of them to just break the enemy's stance. Now using the Cerulean Hidden Tear is actually really good just for setup. That's going to allow you to pop both Incantations and your Ash of War and use no FP. It's a really good setup item. Now if you're going to go with the Successive Attack route, you can do the Thorny Crack Tier, and that's going to make your consecutive attacks grow a little bit stronger. Another really good tier to get would be the Strength Not Crystal tier. This is going to temporarily boost your strength to give you an extra 10 points. But since we're already capped, it's only going to raise your actual damage by probably about 40-50 points max. So if you're willing to move some stats around, this could also be quite beneficial. Now the next two incantations are something I would pretty much advise putting onto every single melee build, because why not? It's going to increase your attack power by near 50% just by having these. And so getting Flame Grant Me Strength pretty early on is beneficial. And you can get it pretty early on just by going behind Fort Gale. This will give you a 15% increase for 30 seconds, which isn't too bad. But it's not quite as good as the Golden Vow, which increases attack and defense for self and allies. This is going to bump up your damage negation even more, negating those negative effects from the Sword Seals. It's going to increase your attack as well, and with Flame Grant Me Strength, it's not going to just add it, it's going to multiply it, giving you roughly a 45 to 50% increase in attack power. That's nuts. For the Great Rune, you just go with the Godric's Great Rune. That's going to give you +5 in every single one of the stats, and that's just way too beneficial to give up. It's also going to give you the ability to use that Golden Vow. Now for the stats, you're going to want to pump up that Vigor. Pump it up pretty hard. You want to get a lot of HP because Saitama's got mass amounts of HP. If you want, you can give yourself a little bit of mine, but you really don't need it. For endurance, you're going to want to put that to about 46. That's going to allow you to do a bunch of hits. If you really need to, just keep pounding in if you really just want to do successive attacks. You can even reduce the endurance a bit because having a higher equip load doesn't actually affect Blue Dancer Charm at all. Now you're going to want to pump all that strength up to 70. Since our Saistis is scaling off of strength specifically, we're going to want to pump that up just as much as possible. Radagon Sword Seal is going to give us 5 more points, and the Great Rune will also give us 5 more points, pretty much capping out our strength. Dexterity is at 10 because we didn't need it. Intelligence is at 7, didn't need it. Faith is at 16, that is the base stat for the Prophet. And that's all I needed because I was able to pump it up myself with America's Sword Seal and the Great Rune to give myself just enough to use the Golden Vow. And now the reason you want to use the Golden Vow specifically instead of the skill Golden Vow is that it actually lasts about twice as long. So to set up, you're just going to pop your Flask of Wondrous Physick, and that way you can use all your incants. And it's going to be free of cost, and pop that Ash to War. So you're going to pop those incantations, give yourself that attack boost. Then you're going to two-fist your Saistis, pop that Ash of War, and you just go at it, and you just punch. And you keep popping the Ash of War each time, and you just hit R2. And you don't charge R2, you just tap it. The tap will actually do more damage than the charge attack. So all you have to do is Royal Knight's Resolve, R2. Royal Knight's Resolve, R2. Royal Knight's Resolve, R2. Maybe buff yourself back up again with the incants if you need it. This has been the Saitama build. If you liked it, leave a comment below and let me know what other characters I should try.